Suspense is killing me. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome out to the Snaffle Futurity. I'm Dru Stew. This is the Equine Sports Desk, all driven by Holiday Auto Group. Sitting up here at the Preferred Sports Desk are my pals, Billie, Bray, CJ Murphy. Guys, thanks for joining me this morning.
You bet.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure.
Man, CJ, it's great to talk to you. Like, we look good. We feel good.
Dressed right.
We're dressed right. It's kind of different. But I think this is good for us right here.
It's a new path.
It is a new path. That's right. We're getting better and better. That's for sure. So, hey guys. So Classic has been. We're sitting up here chatting. Classic has been such a big part of the entire industry. I mean, B, you and I have done stuff together for I don't know how many years. CJ, you were just talking about, of course, with your whole family and the history there. Let's go ahead and kind of start right there with the history, not just in cow horse, but in. I don't care if we dip back into the reining. You know, you've got about 30 years involvement with the show industry. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. We started off Classic Equine, and I think one of our first performance sports was NRCHA reining with Dan Wall at that time. That was our first kind of what I would say official sponsorship, contract, follow the events, went to the finals, the whole deal. And then cow horse was our second. At that time, we really couldn't do AQHA or APHA or any of that. That was kind of, honestly, it was way too big for us at that time.
Sure.
We were too small, way too small. And we really didn't have the products at that time. So we did develop products to participate in the reining. And then through Carol Rose and her, I guess you could say, takeover of the cow horse, we kind of followed her into the cow horse.
Gotcha.
And then we kind of developed products along the way for reining and cow horse. And then we got into that sponsorship about probably 28 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago.
Long time ago. CJ, how long have you been with? So Martin Saddlery is kind of your wheelhouse, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I started with the company back in 2005.
Okay.
And even prior to that, my dad was one of our first equine endorsers. So I got to know the company prior to that and worked for another company, industrial supply company, going through college, getting my MBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got done with that, it was just a ideal move to go to work for Equibrand and work with Classic Equine, Martin Saddlery. I knew the people, had a passion for the industry, so that's the route I went.
Talk to me a little bit about the family side of it, like not so much work, but with your dad, your sister, your whole family. Talk about growing up in the cow horse and the entire industry.
Well, it even goes a step farther than that. Like, we still have the trophy. My grandfather won the stock horse class in 1936 at Salinas.
Really?
And, I mean, so back then, those stock horse guys, they were ranchers. They were cowboys that did their jobs, and they just trained a good horse. Then they went to town and showed it off. And so my grandfather won on a mare named Dixie, and that was even prior to my dad being born. My dad was born in 43. And so, like, growing up, in a way, it kind of ruined me. I blame my dad because I just thought every horse, when you ran down there and pulled, they slid. When you said, whoa, they stopped. When you went, I always tease these guys showing cow horse. Until I got my first Snaffle bidder, I'm like, I don't know why you make it so hard. All you have to do is kick by. They turn and go with the cow. You're making this difficult.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of spoiled.
Team roper coaching on the cow horse guys. It worked real well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, like looking at this industry, I mean, speaking of team roper, y'all know that's all I am at all, and a little sprinkle of cutting horse announcer in there. But this deal, particularly talking about the NRCHA, is very, very cool. From the outside looking in, if there's an industry that or a discipline, I guess you would call it, that really entices a guy to get involved with, this is sure it. The growth is great. The horses are great. The crossover right now is pretty dang cool with the team roping. I mean, what a great place to be.
Oh, it's awesome. We started off in Reno 28 years ago, and then they made the big move here. Of course, there was a lot of controversy in that, but it was one of the best things that ever happened for them to move here. It just brought, I think, such a huge fan base from the performance side. But I think what the big growth really was rodeo roping side. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the relationship with Jay Wadhams and Arizona.
Tufton.
Dean Tufton, that actually helped bring the rope horse Futurity into it.
Sure.
I think it was one of the biggest things in our industry and helped both disciplines.
Sure.
It really complemented the rope horse Futurity that Jay had been working on for 13 years to get it to here. And then, of course, the cow horse got to watch it, and the ropers got to watch the cow horse.
Yeah.
And I think it was a huge move in our industry and a great relationship for our industry. Both parties really are benefiting with horses. Ropers are becoming better horsemen. I think the growth is huge in both, really. And then when you go to the finals here on a Saturday night, most of your fans are ropers.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun. They really came to have a huge appreciation for horsemanship, horses, horse training. I don't know that they really had been exposed to that. All of us were a little bit guilty of really not being exposed to that. I think we were so focused on roping, jackpotting, money, going, traveling, and then we kind of looked over here going, wow, this is real horsemanship. This is really cool.
We weren't a little bit guilty, B. We were 100% guilty.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that long ago when you watch social media. The cool videos for team roping were running by, shooting over your horse's neck, getting it out. Your horse's head.
You mean like 5 years ago?
Yeah,
like
all of a sudden with this rope horse Futurity and this horsemanship coming in, now the cool thing is to ride a good horse, be in position, and that horse take that jerk, stay in the center, and just keep its head right. That's the cool videos now.
Yeah, you actually know what your horse is bred like.
That's weird. What do you mean?
No offense.
Yeah, he's 9 years old. He's been 9 years old for about 8 years. You know, that's been the deal.
I think it's been huge. I think it's been huge for the whole industry. Honestly, all of us have benefited from the relationship. This year's going to be a little bit different just because of our construction, and then Jay's moving his deal to Amarillo. But the good thing is it gets to come back. So
sure,
I think it's really good. It's really good. It's built a lot of relationships with trainers and rope horse.
Yeah.
Roper trainers, they've got good relationships going on. I think that's really fun, actually.
Oh, it's a kick. So like we're down in California in February, I guess, and Kush is down there, and so we're both over by the heel box, and I'm like, buddy, I'll make you a deal. He was having some heck healing, and I was just laying it on him as I should, right? And so then it's my turn to go down there, and I heel one, and it comes back. He's like, man, you're roping good. I'm like, buddy, I will give you all the roping you want if you can give me how to ride a horse for 8 seconds. Like, please teach me how to ride a horse. Like, but it's cool because there is that crossover. And the guys, I tell you one thing that I don't know if it's just because we hear it all the time and you hear it and start believing it. I said it up here at about every interview. The guys in this deal are so willing to help. It is so cool that they're like, hey, you know, you see it all the time. Right now we're back here doing the herd work, not the cutting, the herd work. I'm trying to get my vernacular right. But, you know, it's just very cool, all of that, and how it's all tying together. And then you see the guys like Cade and the other guys that are a lot of these guys rope. For fun. But then you get to see them at the Futurities. And then their horses are badass. And then, you know, having Dean involved and all of these. I mean, the Hickory Holly times at Riata are one of the top horses there. It is very cool how it's all coming together. So,
you know, Doug Williamson always said, this is the hardest event to do through the whole Western performance.
Sure.
And I think that leads to what you're talking about, that willingness to help, because I think every one of these guys realizes how difficult it is to get through that herd work, get through that rein work, get down the fence. I mean, the fence is its own beast in its own.
Sure.
When you can do that and do it at a very high level, everybody's excited for you.
It's got to be humbling. It's got to be the most humbling, because I hadn't thought about it until yesterday. We were talking with a few of the guys, with Shad and them up here, about what you're asking your horse to do in each of the 3 different disciplines. Completely, you're kind of unraveling from event to event what you're asking them to do.
In your terms, a calf horse, head horse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I just want them to stop really hard. Well, no, I need them to be free.
Yeah.
And they're doing that in every event. It's different. How they turn around, everything. I mean, it's very, very cool, and I think the appreciation there from a roper standpoint is extremely high. Extremely high.
I think it's think it's always got the camaraderie because there's a cow in the picture.
That
I think
helps
when
a
you
lot,
have cutting and you have cattle, you have cow horse and you have a cow, and cutting or herd work, and you
Yeah.
have roping, you have cattle.
Yeah.
I think that cattle always bring humbleness and
Isn't that the truth?
and a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Because you know what, you can't have too much ego in it because it'll get fixed.
In a hurry.
It'll just get fixed. Because it does. It just naturally happens with cattle, and I think that that's what brings all the competitors together, is because they're all living it and they're always being humbled.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the number one header in the world or if you're the best cutter or the cow horse. It's always a humbling experience, and that's what brings everybody together and become really close friends for a long time because of it.
Yeah.
You don't really see that, I guess. I don't want to say that out loud, I guess, but you don't see that in some of the other disciplines, is that they don't really have that camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's because there's not a cow in the picture.
Yeah, that humbling agent right there,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
No matter how hard you train, things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go whack around and have two great ones, and that third one,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
I guess the easiest thing to say, go do the cow horse for a while. It may make family cattle gathering a little bit easier.
Right. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
It'll be
Well, it may be
I'm not
less
gonna
butt
say
chewing.
easy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I want to kind of swap what we're doing here a little bit, get a little bit personal with you, B. So, man, it's been really cool watching you and your family. We're going to come back to work here in a minute, but watching you and your family, watching the boys, and talk about being a mom to some outstanding ropers. And this is the life you guys live every single day, but you go home and you guys are in the arena and you've raised some great kids. Like talk about the whole roping at a high level and being a mom in that situation.
Oh, I think that it's awesome. It's because that's what we did growing. When Ken and I first got married, we roped, and of course we had USGRC then, and so it was our life. And the boys grew up in junior looper. Mm-hmm. Then they grew up in low number ropings and moved up just with that whole group of guys and all group of friends that they had, from Chet to Wesley to all of them all grew up together through the USGRC, high school rodeo, college, and then now they're going pro. I think it's an awesome experience. I do think that it's once you get to the top level, I have a lot of respect for how tough it is.
Sure.
I think that that's really an amazing sport. I also will say it's a really tough sport because of of the traveling and the costs and the level of competition that it is today. The opportunity is amazing. The commitment is more than a guy thinks.
Sure.
The commitment is really true commitment, which is, I think, really good. I think that the fact that it is that hard, it has that kind of humbleness in it, is just the best thing for us, honestly. It's like they say, tough times make, good men, and I really believe that. I think that when it is tougher, I think it does make you better.
Yeah, sure. You think the industry, I mean, you have good boys, and that's one thing that I think as a parent we all strive to do, is just have good kids. One thing that you just said right there resonates a lot. The humbleness and how hard it truly is. The days of going out and being not taking care of business, not being an athlete, those days are kind of over.
They're over.
They're over, aren't they?
Yeah, they're over. The game's changed a lot. I've been doing this for close to 35 years and been a part of endorsements and rodeos and rodeo, the NFR. I've been going to the NFR for almost 30 years and going all 10 nights. But, today's guys are, they're considering eating right. They're considering rest. They're considering taking care of their horses, better situations for their horses. Their game has completely changed than it has been 20, 25 years ago. 20, 25 years ago, I'm not going to say that, eating right and horses was the top of their list.
Yeah.
Rodeo and damn sure was, but I'm not sure about the rest of it. But today it has really tightened up.
Sure. Guys
have got to really commit. Look at your calf ropers today. Look at even your breakaway ropers today, your top team ropers today. Most of them don't drink.
Yeah.
They're taking care of their families. They are very serious about it. They have very strict the way they practice, the horses that they have available to practice on, the mount that they practice. They don't do anything else but that.
Yeah.
So it's changed a lot.
Yeah. Let's now to you on the cow horse side of it. Kind of the same thing. Seeing these guys are not messing around at all. So talk about how you've seen that from a kid coming up with your family. Same exact question.
Yeah, I mean, you go way back, and there was always, every guy had a weakness in one of the three. Like, you saw them where they were pretty good in two and a weaker in one. Anymore, you've got to be great in all three to have a chance.
Sure.
I mean, just to have a chance. And what it takes to make the open finals, the intermediate finals, the limited finals, I mean, honestly, you go back 30 years, you could take almost any of our limiteds, and they would be competitive in the open.
Sure.
And the horses, no different than rodeo, the horses have gotten tremendously better. The training techniques, the knowledge sharing. My dad said when he was a kid, it was about watching because nobody would tell you anything.
Sure, you had to figure it out.
You had to sit there and watch, and there's some funny stories of Johnny Brazil going and sneaking around out on the tracks at some of those old California fairgrounds and acting like he was doing something, and he'd go over and dig in the ground and act like he was burying something and then ride off. He'd wait and see who went out there and dug up what he acted like he buried just to see
Just
who was
bait him
watching.
a little bit.
Yeah, have fun with it. But now these guys are so willing to share this knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really driven this up to the level it is.
Sure. Now let's come back. Let's bring it back to you guys and your business. So you guys run one of the biggest equine products companies in the world. When it comes to leg protection, saddles, pads, our ropes, anything and everything to do with our horses. Talk a little bit about that excellence that you guys have got to be on the top of your game because they're on the top of their game, whether it's an open all the way down to an amateur or novice that's just getting into this game. Talk about the whole, back at the office, when you and Ken and the crew are talking about the products, the quality, all of that. You guys have got one of the best names in the business. Why is that?
I think there's a lot of reason why that we strive to be there. I think number one, it's our goal. Number two, we have a lot of great people that work there. We have CJ and Nellie that are working here. They grew up in cow horse, so they know it better than we do. So we always have the people that we need to have working with us. I think one of the most important things that we have is we have product development. Product development is a huge, huge, huge part of our company. It never ends, and it's every day. So, the products that we're bringing to the market, it's probably, some of them have taken us 2 or 3 years. Some of them are maybe some shorter time. But for the most part, it takes us quite a while before we can get a product to the market to go through all of the testing. We've got great people that are in product development that know it better than we do because they've lived it. One of them was a personal, trained with Clint Allen for 14 years, and so they know how to put the wraps on. They know how to do everything better than we do. So then when they go to developing the products and testing the products, it's kind of secondhand. It's not fake. So we don't got really any fake news around our deal. It's all real.
So the guy developing polo wraps has actually wrapped a lot of legs.
Wrapped a lot of legs.
And has cleaned them and has washed them.
All the things that goes
all the
with
things
it.
you don't think about. We don't want them balling up. We don't want They really know.
And she's Australian, so
Yeah.
there's not
there's
a lot
no
of
BS.
debate. There is zero debate. It's Tegan's way or no way.
Yeah. So
But
I would
that-
just say
that goes
we're-
a long way, though,
but
right?
Yeah, we're really lucky with that. We're just really lucky that we get to be around those kind of people, but we really spend a lot of time and money on it too. I mean, that's probably where we spend most of our time and money is in the development of all. CJ's done a lot of work with the saddles. We're doing a lot of work right now in a couple other disciplines in the saddles. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to get it right. I have no patience. I want it to happen tomorrow. And everybody's
Marketing people.
everybody's telling me to back off, so I got to go take a walk and back off. And I'm like, we're not ready yet. I mean, like, when do we go? When can we go? When do we go? So, yeah, it takes a long time.
It takes about 3 conversations. She starts out here. She'll go see somebody else, talk to them. She usually ends up at my office. All right, goose rabba, calm down.
We'll get there, babe. I promise.
Patience. We're on the path. But yeah, I mean, B hit it on this point. You know, all of us get our boots dirty that work at this company. I mean, from our CEO and B all the way down to our guys in shipping. Every one of us competes in some form or fashion within the industries, and we all have our specialties, but we all care. So usually we're the first ones to test a new product.
Sure.
If it makes it through us, then it goes to our endorsers, which B spent so much time cultivating this great group of endorsers that we can really bounce things off of. And once it gets through there, by the time it gets to market, it has been tested to where we're so confident in that product, we know it's going to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just like, you know, George McQueen, one of the highlights of my life was George and I made it back to the Stephenville Rodeo. This is like in 2000, I don't know, 5, 4, something. And we made it back to during the whatever it is, the rodeo in town. But there was a roping before, and him and I qualified.
County roping.
The county roping.
Yeah.
Hey man, that was that's important.
Him and I made it back together, and that was like it was so cool.
Did you catch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I think we won like third or something. But it's cool. But there's your guy. There's your rope guy.
Yeah.
Ropes there. I saw his name the other day. Won him a roping. I mean, that's pretty dang cool that the guys that are actually running the deal, just like yourself, just like you and Kenny, guys are out here doing it. That is very, very important. Very, very cool.
You have to be in it all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to go to a lot of events. I go to a lot of events, all kinds of events.
Oh boy.
From last weekend was something special breakaway, 8 and under, 10 and under, 12 and under, 16, and then the next day was JJ's open breakaway. Then it was the Clay Logan. So you got to go to a lot of events to make sure that. Honestly, it's like you just have to make sure that you're relevant and making sure you're doing your job.
Yeah.
And because when you go to an event, you always, if you really look at it with honest eyes, it tells you if you're not doing your job or not.
Yeah.
So it's always important to go to events, I think. I think it keeps you grounded.
Sure. You guys are on the youth side of things a lot, too, like with the high school rodeo and everything else that you're doing. The cow horse here, we've got a lot of kids in the youth side of it. That's always been a real important initiative to you, too, hasn't it? I mean, you have supported that youth so much.
Huge. I think that's probably the most important thing for us is the youth. I think that it's really important. I'm pretty psycho about the numbers. I'm always Gary is with National High School Rodeo now. Bless his heart, he has to put up with me because I'm always like, hey, man, you didn't send me the numbers yet. I got to see the numbers. What do the numbers look like? I am a number guy. I really like the numbers. I really like to know how many sixth graders are coming in versus last year. I like to know what the rate of the seniors versus last year were. I really do. I'm not saying worry about that, but I really look at that. I really think that's important to know if we're doing things right.
Yeah.
As an industry, it's not really about you or me or our egos. It's about
having it tomorrow.
We got to have it.
We got to have it tomorrow.
And I think in saying that, I want to say, hats off to Cow Horse for getting into high school. I think it's one of the most important things that Cow Horse has done. Is getting into high school rodeo. I think SHOT is very important to NRCHA, Stock Horse of Texas. I think CJ with Southwest Cow Horse is really important. I think all those feeder programs are extremely important to NRCHA.
Yeah.
I was at the first Cow Horse in Rock Springs. I think it was Zane Davis and Matt Cook that gave each kid a lesson. And then I went this last year, and it was Luke and who was it? Luke and
I can't remember.
Tucker.
Yeah, it was Tucker. And just the difference in the kids in that many years that they've been in high school rodeo.
Because what is it now, 5?
Yeah.
Like 5 years?
Yeah. And they said, like, I think Patty asked me, she goes, the numbers are just a little bit off a little bit. And I said, well, I think that's okay in cow horse. And she goes, why? I said, because they just figured out that cow horse is a lot harder than they thought. I said, and
kind of everybody bailed in thinking it was easy, trying to get those all-around points.
But being naive to the word cow horse is a blessing.
Yeah.
And then when you actually got in it and you seen how difficult it was, and then you still had the membership stay fairly close, is a blessing.
Yeah.
It was a blessing because you got to make sure that you got to really look at it in reality. Most of these kids that signed up for it all over in all these states, you know, I always say, you know, you had the state Iowa's got Luke Jones, and you had Idaho that had Jake Telford, and then you had Texas, of course, but you have all these other states that didn't have one of those guys.
Yeah.
So you have to take it in consideration. North Dakota, Montana, South Dakota, you know, they didn't have one of those guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's harder.
Sure.
And those kids all signed up for it, and when they came to nationals, they were like, whoa.
Yeah.
But the good thing is they still stayed in it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think has really been awesome for the sport. It's been awesome for the kids too, but it's been awesome for the sport that they just didn't run.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty intimidating.
Oh, man. I think, you know, this is going to come out, and the cutters will probably hate me for saying this the way it is, but it used to be like qualify in the cutting just because you can, just so you can get those all-around points and get to nationals. And then when you get to nationals, that was the deal. Well, cow horse, I think everybody thought the same way. Well, this is going to be an easy way. I'm a team roper, calf roper, or I'm a barrel racer, breakaway roper, whatever it is. I'm a goat tire. I'm just going to go find me a cow horse, qualify in the top 4 in the state. I'm going to make it. It's going to help me with the all-around. Now, it definitely does help in the all-around. That has changed at the high school finals for sure. But I think you're exactly right. I think they got there and it's a little bit different than just going and finding a good old cutter you can just go jump on and knock 3 around. Well, now you got to do everything else, and you go, whew.
Yeah, they have this thing called right lead, left lead, flying lead chains.
Weird.
Stopping.
Yeah,
speeding.
I didn't know about that until about 2 years ago.
I looked at it going, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's really difficult.
Now, Drew, B has done the celebrity boxing, and she went down the fence in the celebrity boxing
What?
in Reno.
Yeah, we have to bring that up.
What? Yeah, well, absolutely. I wish we had the video.
Oh, yeah. That was really good.
But CJ, that's got to be feeding it, though, doesn't it? I mean, like at the high school finals, we're seeing, and it's becoming a deal. Like, you know, just in the last 5 years, I completely see what you're saying, and bet the numbers have come down a little bit, but it may have come down, but it's more solid.
Right.
It's
I
more
meant that as a compliment.
as a compliment,
I
yeah.
meant that as a compliment.
100%.
Just because I think everybody flooded to it,
Yep.
and then they were like,
This is tough.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even when we get to the high school, it's a huge learning curve for a lot of those kids, you know, because we're working with Emily all the time. CJ helped this year with me. We had bridles made up for the kids so that they were legal because, I mean, there's
really?
a lot of states that don't understand.
Just don't know.
Sure. You know, and so they show up, and then all of this happens, and you got, you know, thank God you have guys like Luke and Jones that lives there all week long that helps all the kids to understand you know, what the headgear is, what the rules are.
Sure.
So there's so much education. Yes, you have this group of kids that are just like anything. You have your top 5%, top 10% that are probably NRCHA members. You do have that in every discipline.
Absolutely.
But the most important part is this other part, because we got to grow this other part.
Absolutely.
We got to get them in, and we got to get them to kind of stay. And then hopefully they might want to go work for somebody in the industry. Hopefully that they want to stay in the horse business. You know.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, in all reality, there's 2 things that I really see: awareness and then barriers of inclusion. And the cow horse has done a very good job. That high school rodeo, the Stock Horse of Texas, all of those events open the awareness up of how difficult this really is. And it also eliminates that barrier of inclusion, because really, you want to go show a snaffle bidder, that's extremely hard. It takes a financial, you know, time, all those things that not all of us have to give, you know. And so having that ability, my wife went to her very first horse show ever last weekend, Stock Horse of Texas down there in Bryan.
Seriously?
Had never run a rein work, had never boxed a cow, and pulled my old gelding Nibbles out of the pasture. He was living with their open steers for like 3 years, got him somewhat legged up and turned her loose, and she had a ball. And those folks are so welcoming there. The Stock Horse of Texas is an amazing feeder program for this. So those people have something to strive towards, and you've seen it time in and time out. Those folks they'll stay loyal to Stock Horse, but their goal is to get to the NRCHA and come and be competitive here and learn as they go. So, I mean, very few of our other organizations within these industries have such a program, you know, from high school and SHOT, the Ranch Versatility, feeding into this. So it's a huge deal.
It's
so
huge.
You just led into something that I was going to kind of bring up. One of the biggest things that I appreciate about y'all and your business, and then this kind of goes back to the USTRC. Your business is built on the amateur and recreational. There's 1% of 1% that are shown in the open. There's 1% of 1% that are roping in the open. What you're just talking about is that base, along with the kids, just like your wife. Just like, don't think I'm not thinking about it. You guys know my story better than anybody. I haven't been roping hard. I rope in May. I haven't been on a horse since May, you know. But you look at this, and it's like, man, I could get in here. I could start my kids in boxing. I could start going to those stock horse shows. And it's a cool deal, and it's a great industry. If we don't feed that, if we don't have that, then you and guys, there's associations around, we don't need to name them, that fight this fight and wonder why. Why are our numbers going down? Because we haven't been building the base. The open will take care of itself, I promise you. And the more people we get involved, the better it is for the open.
And even, I mean, that's great for the industry, but even for you as a competitor, your kids, if you start them in the cow horse, the stock horse, teaching that horsemanship, it doesn't matter if they end up wanting to be a team roper, a breakaway roper, a barrel racer. Learning that horsemanship is going to make you better at what you do, what you end up doing.
They're not going to be like me where it's all backwards. Learn to rope. Now I got to learn at 45. I got to learn to ride a horse. It's kind of, I want to teach my kids the right way.
I think what you're saying, though, that's the foundation of our industry. You know, it's like that is the most important part of our industry. Thank God to classifications in team roping. You know, it's the largest sector in the whole Western industries because of a classification system, and it's a damn good one. And I think that SHOT has its own kind of classification system that can allow them to step into this intimidating environment. I think reining does a pretty good job. Cutting does a pretty good job. You know, they're getting better at their intermediates, non-pros. I don't know all these terms as good as CJ does, but I just think that it's so important that they got high school, because high school is just part of where those kids can see it. You know, the other big part of our industry is because of Taylor Sheridan and everything he's done. You know, he has basically introduced people to being able to own a horse and not have to have it at their house. And so I think that if there was the biggest thing that happened in our industry is bringing in people that want to be a part of what we have here in our Western industry and our culture, and they can own a horse and meet a trainer and watch their horse be able to come here and perform. I think the biggest compliment we have for Taylor Sheridan is this, that he introduced that concept. And then, of course, you know, Run for a Million, Last Cowboy Standing, you know, CJ and I go to that event, and honestly, that event is just, it gives you goosebumps, because it's thank God. Because if we didn't have that, our performance horse business wouldn't be as good as it is. You know, so we got to say, good, you know, kudos to the youth, and Taylor is why we get to be here doing what we're doing.
Both ends of that spectrum.
Doing what we're doing here today. You know, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have the growth in performance horse without both of those.
We wouldn't have had last Monday.
No.
We wouldn't have had last Monday. I mean, without all of those things stacking up, you're not selling these horses. You're not selling a horse for 1.3 or 1.7 million that it was a few months ago, and you're not doing what we did in the industry last Monday. That those things don't happen.
No,
they really don't.
Not at all.
That's a great point. I mean,
without
all of it, and that is total both ends of the spectrum, but all meeting in the middle. It just we're in a really good spot.
We're in a really good spot. We're in a really good spot. Of course, you know, we got Trump. I'm a big Trump guy, so, you know.
It's good for the industry.
I won't go down to my politic deal, but I'm all about
That'll
Trump,
be on
man.
the after the show with B. Talking politics with B.
Yeah. I should have wore a red shirt. Yeah.
Well, guys, I tell you what, at the end of the day, thank you guys so much. I mean, you guys play the game, and of course, we've been great friends for so long and had so much fun and told so many stories that we wish we could tell on camera, but we
won't bring up California and you two in California.
Well,
that's the after show as well, B.
There's a strict
this
social
little
media
men's
policy.
Club that they have over there in California.
I don't know what you're talking about.
First
rule of Fight Club.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, thank you so much for what you do in the industry, and thank you for the support for years and years and years. I mean, really and truly, and everything from the roping side of it to this, and the countless hours you and I have had on the phone about marketing and what we're doing, and you helped change my life, and that's a whole other story. And there's a lot of appreciation there. You and your sister and your family, and guys, thank you so much.
You bet.
And pass that on to the crew back at the shops too. Like, huge thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
All
you.
right. You
Appreciate
bet.
it.
All right. Well, y'all got more than you bargained for on this deal. That's for sure. We sure appreciate you sticking around. And we've got interviews coming to you all day, every day from here at EQN Sports. You can watch everything on Facebook at EQN Sports or right on NRCHA Facebook. And, of course, go and watch live streams and come down here. Remember, on Saturday, we're going to have a block party. It is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to do some fun stuff. I think we're going to try to crack back out the King of the Reach. I'm serious. I haven't hit you up on that yet, but I'm going to hit you up as soon as we shut. Well, I think we're going to try to talk to Emily about it.
And on that
All right.
point, I want to thank NRCHA. Difficult time with the remodel. I am so excited about the finals and the fact that Top Fuel stepped up to help put on this after party, or the live watch party.
Yeah.
But the folks that weren't here for the World's Greatest when it used to be in the Justin, very few events ever give you that electricity and that feeling, and I am excited about our finals in the John Justin.
It's going to
this
be
year.
fun.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about how loud it's going to be.
It's
going to
be fun.
It's going to be so loud. It's going to be so much fun.
It is. Everybody's going to be stacked in there. I bet we're going to have 1,000 people out here, too. I mean, it's going to be super cool. We're really
I go to
excited.
all the events. My two favorite nights is Snaffle Bit Night and World's Greatest Horseman Night. I have
Yeah.
to say, my two favorite nights of the whole year are those two nights.
They're fun, aren't
Oh,
they?
man, I have a blast.
Man, if you're around Fort Worth or anywhere near within a few hundred miles, you need to come and see us because it is truly going to be fun. That super excited about it. Like, can't wait. When they're like, hey, do you want to come down and bring the desk and whatever for the Snaffle Bit Night? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
I want to be part of it because it is so cool.
Where are
It
you
is
going to put my
such-
desk?
Yeah, right. I just show up with the desk, like, hey, I don't know if you need it
I
or
get
not.
the best spot in the building.
Yeah,
with my
absolutely. You
desk.
get the
I'm
best
like,
seat in the house.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, make sure you keep tuning in here. We got a whole lot coming to you from the NRCHA Snaffle Bit Futurity. On behalf of Classic Equine, I am Dru Stew, and we'll catch you here in a little bit, everybody.